Well, it's jewelry fixing day, ladies. So go get your tools. I have my needle nose pinchers and my pliers here. Today we're just going to put those lobster claw closures that are magnetic on those short necklaces that we just can't do anymore. So I'll wait for you. Go get your tools and we're going to do this together. Plus, we're going to talk about some other things about how it's okay to be old and look like a grandma. And for those of you that don't look like grandmas, it's still okay. Now, in here are some of those magnetic clasps. I would imagine you wouldn't need all of these. We'll see what we work with first. I've dug up a lot of my short jewelry. For instance, this one, I thought I wouldn't be able to get over my head. Believe it or not, I just did. But it would be the necklaces that would be what they call the collar necklaces or the waterfall necklaces, the ones that are chokers or almost chokers. And it's the easiest thing in the world. Thanks to several of you ladies, you told me a couple of videos ago when I was complaining about trying to get jewelry on with my arthritic shoulders and hands, and you told me about these magnetic closures. Well, I got on the ball right away and I sent for them on Amazon, and I have them right here. I have gotten some gold ones and I've gotten some silver ones, and they're not expensive at all. You get 20 or whatever. You have all sorts of choices with these. Try and get the larger ones. I did get 2 packages of them. I tried it on one necklace, and I tell you ladies, it took me 30 seconds to put these on. Now I've also, as you saw in the last video, I did buy myself one of these mirrors, these magnifying mirrors, thinking that I would need it. And you know what? I might. And I looked at so many of them, the ones that clamp on. This was a clamper, or is a clamper, as you can see, and this thing twirls around. And I looked at some that were stands. Now, the reason that I didn't initially buy one that was a standalone was because I thought it would tip over. This is quite heavy, and I wanted a big one. Now, this is a 10 times magnifier, and wow, it's going to be great. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Can you see that? Now, some of you have told me, in fact, my pal, Rockstar Mom, Patty, said, why don't you get the one that hangs around your neck? I know Patty does a lot of craft work, and maybe she has one of these, but I did go back on Amazon and I did see it, and it's on this stiff kind of a wire that you just kind of bend over. Maybe that's what I might have to send for. So I might have to send this back. I don't know. So today we will not be using a magnifier to do this work. Now, if I can hold this without it breaking on me, this is really probably more for bracelets. It's not sturdy enough, but it's one of those little stands that I picked up at the thrift shop. And I brought in only the necklaces that are shorter ones. I do, as you know, I love chunky jewelry. I love all kinds of jewelry. I've collected it for 70 years. And I have all kinds of jewelry. And I'm going to be sharing you some of my different types of jewelry. I've shared some of my turquoise, but I also like to layer it. I have a lot of jewelry and I like to style it. Today I've gone very mild for me. I have on some gold. This is my grandmother's pocket watch, believe it or not. And it's probably one of the most valuable things I own. And I've just sort of layered some gold chains. And to me, this is probably the daintiest that I might go. I also have some stuff on my arms. However, we're going to pick one of these today, or 2, with different types of closures and see how we do. I have a necklace here, one of my turquoise ones that just doesn't make it over my head. Almost, but not really. And eventually, with all the other things that I have, my hobbies and the other things I'm trying to do, I'm going to try and fix all of these since it really doesn't take that long. Okay, let me put this down. Now, I have to put my glasses on for some of this. Let's open up one of these things. I hope you're all ready, ladies. Do you all have your supplies handy here and your jewelry? I hope you've had a couple of days to pick this out. Now, trying to get these little plastic thingies open is another thing. But let me just take some of these out in my hand. Now, these are the bigger ones, which I kind of like, and they're all stuck together, being magnetic. Look what it looks like. Can you see this up close? It is end to end, if you can see that. You see the little thing on the side. And then it has the magnetics. Ooh, I can't even pull them apart. There you go. Wow, that is amazing. I should drop it just to show you. But from this point, oh, I was going to say on, it goes. I'm going to do that again. Watch. Look at that. And then there's a lobster claw on the other end. So we don't have to take any loops or chains or little anything off the other sides. What we're going to do is just open this lobster claw and clip it on a loop on the one end, one on the other end. And nobody's going to see any of the extra stuff dangling in the back, even if you have one of those extension chains. So I'll get one of my gold necklaces here. I have mostly silver and other things, but I'll find one and we will. I think I'm going to start with a chain. As you know, by the way, this year chains are in everything. On shoes, on bags, around our necks, bracelets, everything. And I did pick up a couple of these things. So this one obviously is more of a choker, and it does have a little extension chain, as you can see. And I'm just going to open up. Does have a nice lobster claw right here. Can you see the lobster claw? So I'm just going to open it up and take it off. And I'm left with this tiny little loop. This is getting hard. I'm going to show it up against my, well, I'm going to show it against my dark shirt. See that little loop? Okay, now I'm going to take one of my little lobster claws here. I'm left-handed, by the way. Open up the lobster claw with my left hand. All right, I've got it in my hand and it's open. Can you see? Now, I'm going to take my necklace and it has a lobster claw right there. So I'm just going to clip onto that if I can. Now see, my fingers go up. There we go. All right, let me get it. I think I'll clip right into this. There we go. Okay, so now we've got it hooked onto this end, right? Now this is the old lobster claw hanging. See it? Now here we go here. I'm going to find the other end of this necklace. Now here's the hanging coat. I'm going to leave that and I'm going to go right into this loop right here, this small loop. Let me get it open with my hand. Okay, hook right in. Look at that. It's done. Now you will have these things hanging in the back. You'll still have your extension chain, which is hanging right here. There it is. And you'll still have this lobster claw. Now, if you want to go ahead and take your tools and take that off, you can. That's the old one, but watch. Now, there we go. I'm going to let it close. Wow, can you see that? All right, let me put it on. I'm going to show you this way. So this is tight around my neck. I didn't realize that. You know what? I should have put this on one of the, because it's tight around my neck. So I should have put it on one of those extension chains. So I'll have to take this off. And it worked, but it's too tight. Okay. Okay, the one is on the one end And because I don't want it really tight around my neck, I'm going to put my claw somewhere down this extension cord down here, because chokers, I hate them too tight around my neck. So I'm going to hold the chain up for you to see, and I'm going to go halfway down this chain, hook my claw, a new extension here, this much down. And here's the new claw down here. No, here's the new claw down at the bottom. So here they both are on each end. Oop, do you see them? What? I'm going to do this again. Oh, it's almost hard to get it apart. From about half an inch it goes. Okay, now I'm going to put it around this way, around my neck, so that you see it go. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Turn it around, and this is much better. I can't have them too tight around my neck. And there we go. This one is pretty much like this one. Voila! Shall we do another one? So I picked out a silver one, as you can see here. I won't make that face when I look up. Look. It's a very strong magnet on these, and on both ends, as you can see, you have a lobster claw there and a lobster claw there. So this one, there is no chain, extension chain. So I'm just going to hook it on. First, I'll get this one off. Okay. There we go. And I'm just going to hook one side onto that lobster claw. You can't see with my fingers in the way, but I just did it here. Now you see, I don't know why I keep going over there. So this is the old one, and this one is the new lobster claw right here. So they're put together right here. This is the easiest way to do. Keep them together while you're doing it rather than separating them. Right there. And there we go. And now we have, oh, look at that. Isn't that great? So now we have the silver one. Not anything has been taken off. And I have a new necklace that I can now wear. If I can fix this. This is turned around on me here. There we go. Moosey says, show us how easy it is. All right. And once again, I'm going to do it in the front so you see. All right. Just turn it around. Now it's going to start clipping to things too. Put it in the front. Get my two little things here. Whoops. There it is. Did you see that? Thank you, ladies, for telling me all about this. I'll have to spend a day, and rather than do too many of these now, we'll just sit and talk for a few minutes about this. Meanwhile, I have so many. Look at all these short ones I have to do. I think I showed you all of these. Now, this particular one, I suppose this is just a beaded coral. These are coral beads, and they're light coral. And if I started to maybe try and put this on, now these types of clips are not too hard. I'm going to stand up and show it to you here. Do you see these? These are the ones that are not lobster claws. What they are is they're just that little hook that looks like that, and a ring just goes through it. So how would I do it on here? I suppose I'd have to go back and hook it on this ring right here, because there's nothing back here to hook it on. So you have to examine all of your jewelry, and I think it would work on this one. This one's not too hard to do. As you can see, this just goes in and out here. But still in all, it would be nice to just have magnetic on here. And I think I can put it into this loop right here. So look at all your necklaces and see if they all would be Now see, here's another one. This is one of my turquoise, and this one I'll be able to do right here because there is a lobster claw and a ring. As long as you have a lobster claw or rings on both sides, you don't have to take anything off. So I would think, ladies, that you can probably fix 90% of your choker necklaces or your collar necklaces. I have a pretty one here. This is an antique, a vintage one. This one could have belonged to my grandma or somebody, but isn't this neat? This is just beads, and it's sort of black rhinestone beads and rhinestones, and it just hangs in a very delicate way. So many of these are so pretty. I still have that, those two. Remember the day I went to the thrift shop and I found two of those collar ones. One was a feather one and one was tiny pearls, and black was gorgeous. I haven't been able to have an event to wear them to. Maybe two of the graduations that we have coming up. But I did get some fun jewelry that day, didn't I? Well, rather than show you too much more of my jewelry right now, I've spent quite a bit of time just doing this. Here are a lot of my little broken pieces, and we'll see how we're going to do. I think I can put a stone of some kind on this particular ring. All sorts of things in here. There are little pearls from my mother, broken pearls or necklaces. We'll see. We'll see what we can do with this. And then in here are some of the pieces that need to be fixed. This is the bracelet that needs the stone in the middle. I still haven't found the right stone. I did send for some stones, but they sent me the wrong kind, too tiny. This is some of my turquoise, chunky turquoise stones, the natural stones. I had tried to start putting a chain in the back because the necklace, I didn't like it. It was too short. I wanted to make it long. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing with that. This isn't all for today. We're going very slowly. Here's a little box of goodies. This is an amber, this was a stone that fit into a brooch, and I think I found something that I might be able to put it into. It's really very beautiful, and I want to be able to get it in. This is a pin that I always remember my mother wearing. It's sterling silver, and it had a beautiful big emerald, an emerald shape, and it was the emerald cut on the sides. It was clear blue. It probably was, what is that, the sapphire? It was sort of bluish green. And I don't know whether she lost the stone or I did, but it was a pin that she always wore. And I do have to get back clasp repaired too. This I would love to put a stone in there and wear it. And it's a beauty. It really is. Here, let's see. Here's a piece of amber, another piece of amber. I'm sure you all have the same kinds of things. This is a stone that I recently bought. And I bought it to match a beautiful piece of a bracelet that I have that has a big blue stone. Isn't that so beautiful? Look at the light shine through it. And it has gold around the edges. And it's just a hanging pendant, big, probably 3 inches in size. And I wanted to add some things. I've started to see if maybe I could add something like that onto the top of it. I wanted it to look sort of boho to match this bracelet, which I will pull out and show you. Lucy and I, as you know, are going down to San Diego this weekend. We are leaving early Sunday morning, and Mikey and Sabrina are having a gathering of family and friends. All of the kids are going to be down there, and I'm excited. Poor Billy, being in Idaho, misses some of these things. But what we're going to be doing is having the outdoor party first outside. I think since it's Cinco de Mayo day, by the way, I think they're having a taco truck, so we're looking forward to that. What else are we doing? And then we're going to be staying down overnight and coming back Monday. Well, I don't know whether you had a chance to look back at all my past. You haven't. binged 500 of my videos yet, but every Cinco de Mayo, which is on May 5th, and that's the day that we're going down to San Diego for Lizzie's communion. But I always do a Cinco de Mayo video. I have for the past 4 years. And normally I will cook some Mexican something. Usually it's a taco of some time. Last year, I think I cooked shrimp tacos. And Moosey and I sat out on the patio, which was fixed up at that point. Maybe that was 2 years ago. And we had the shrimp tacos, and they were delicious. I think we had them with Bloody Marys, too. But, and we talked about the celebration of Cinco de Mayo, which, by the way, is not as big in Mexico as it is in places like Los Angeles. It's a very big celebration. And it's interesting, the history of Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May, was a celebration of a victory in Mexico. However, I won't be doing it because I'm doing this video, but I did want to show you my dress, which, I've had several of these over the years. Years and years ago, Moosey and I went down to Tijuana with the kids for a day, and we brought back dresses and things. I remember bringing one home for my mother, and they came out that summer, and I have a wonderful picture of my mother and I in our beautiful dresses that go all the way down to the floor. Look at the pretty embroidery on this. I love these. And a lot of the little girls, our little toddlers, have had them, and as they grow older, they've had these too. The schools all do celebrations on May 5th too, where they have the different foods and kind of a fun thing to do. But I suggest that if you celebrate Cinco de Mayo, then you make that a taco bowl that I showed you a couple of weeks ago with the flour tortilla and then the wonderful salads and meat and everything in it. So happy Cinco de Mayo, by the way, to everybody. And I won't be doing it, but I did want to show you the dress. And I wear this with all my turquoise jewelry. I overlay it and overdo it, which only I can do the best of layering stuff, right? And it's a fun day because I get to wear all that too. I probably should do this down there that day. Maybe I'll wear this dress, come to think of it, on Cinco de Mayo to Lizzie's First Communion. Maybe. Might not be appropriate for church, though. I think since this video is going a little long, I don't think we'll be able to have our little chit-chat about it's okay to be getting old, growing old, and looking old. But anyway, I feel great as an old lady, and I hope you do too. There's nothing wrong with growing old. Everybody grows old. And when people say, don't dress, you look too old like that, what's too old? What's the way you dress? Do you want to look like a grandma? People say, well, I love being a grandma. I love being a great grandma. And although I don't look like what my grandma looked like, she died at 83, by the way, and I loved her to pieces. I loved hugging her in her house dress and her rolled down nylons that ended at her knee. Remember those, ladies, when your grandma used to roll her nylons down in the summertime? And the brown lace-up shoes with the stacked heel, and always wonderful house dresses that she made and looked grandmotherly in them, and I loved her to pieces, and that's what she looked like in those days. Grandmas looked like grandmas very differently in all the different stages of life as life goes on. So take it with a grain of salt and enjoy it when people say you don't want to look like a grandma. Yes, we do, and we enjoy it. And we love our grandmas no matter what they look like. Okay, Moosey wants to turn the TV on and watch a ball game. And he did come in from outside. It's another gray May day. And I hope that it's nice and sunshiny this weekend. I hope you all have a lovely weekend celebrating Cinco de Mayo or just celebrating May. I love you all, and I thank you for all your binging, all your watching, and I hope you're enjoying our Nanny and the Moose YouTube homepage. checking out all our other videos. Goodbye for now. I'll catch you in a couple of days. And God bless us all.